This time of year, it's entering winter, and we had our first snow of the year on Tuesday, so I think that deserves a round of applause. But around this time of year, close to the holidays, I like to snuggle up on the couch with a hot chocolate, and I light the menorah, and I love to watch a Hallmark Christmas movie. Hallmark Christmas movies represented today, I guess. You might think that a 13-year-old Jewish boy is not Hallmark's prime demographic, but hear me out, okay? Who needs a subtly Christian rom-com more than someone who's shorter than many girls his age, doesn't know when his voice is gonna crack, and has to spend like 30 minutes picking poppy seeds out of his braces if he eats an everything bagel? I need these things, people. They're my stress relief. So let me explain my addiction, okay? So first of all, they have the best names, and these are real, Never Kiss a Man in a Christmas Sweater. Geez, I guess my chances are not that good. Or A Shoe Addict's Christmas. Now, the one that takes the cake is one that came out this year called Melt My Heart This Christmas. Now, that's not super, crazy on the surface, but believe me, it gets wild. So let me set the scene. There's this passionate glassblower. Interesting start. And her name is Holly. Gotta give it to the Hallmark people, that's pretty punny. So Holly, the passionate glassblower, keeps getting rejected from this very competitive glass-blowing fair. Now, I did not know those existed, but okay. And since she keeps getting rejected, she secretly blows glass. Now, I'm not so sure how you can secretly melt sand at thousands of degrees, especially in an apartment, but Holly makes it work, I'm sure she had to remove her smoke alarms, and her gas bill must be through the roof, but there's always trade-offs. And so she secretly blows glass under a pseudonym. And plot twist, she falls in love with the fair manager who's rejected her this whole time. How could we have seen that coming? It's crazy. But these things seem to write themselves. They can't be that hard. I mean, let's see. I'll come up with one right now for y'all. How about a green thumb Christmas, where a young plant lover and a surprisingly sexy botanist meet at a plant conference and they kiss in a humid greenhouse surrounded by hothouse orchids, and yet it still manages to snow. That one was good. Let me try another. How about Latkes by the Christmas Tree, where a couple has to get the town rabbi to fill in as Santa at the local mall. Yeah, but these are so easy to just come up with, They're great. And a reason why I never feel stressed while watching these things is they are very predictable, And while Melt My Heart This Christmas kind of strays from the general narrative, in a very bold way. The average plot of a Hallmark Christmas movie goes something like this. Say Emily, right, is a banker, and she lives in the city. Now, in Hallmark Christmas movies, cities are bad, okay? Cities are dirty, cities are rats, cities are busy, And so Emily has to foreclose on a farm in Vermont. And this town the farm is in, it just happens to be her hometown. Who could have seen that coming, right? And so she goes to this town in Vermont, and she sees all her friends from when she was a kid, and they're all like bakers and farmers and florists. And after talking with them, Emily sees they have so much time, they could just sit down for coffee. In the city, Emily's too busy to eat breakfast, She has a chia pudding and a flat white on the way to work. So after talking with all of her friends, Emily realizes the biggest mistake of her life was going to grad school. And one day, while Emily's strolling down the streets of this town, she sees this hunky lumberjack. Ooh, rah, right? And this hunky lumberjack's name is Christian. And because he's a lumberjack, he never wears a shirt, even when it's cold enough to snow. So Christian takes Emily to have a sit-down breakfast. And she hasn't even had bacon in 4 years. She never does this, you know? So after that, Emily marries Christian 2 weeks later and quits her job in the city to become a trad wife in Vermont. And as much as I love Hallmark Christmas movies, I just don't feel very represented, you know? I don't think they were made for Jewish people. And so I looked it up to see if there are any Jewish Hallmark Christmas movies, and there was only one called Oi to the World. Now that one's pretty good, but I think we can do better. We're Jews, we're funny people, you know? So how about, is this Christmas ham kosher? I love you a latka? The three wise men? No, really, the three Wiseman brothers have to find a date before Hanukkah or else Bubby's gonna get on their case. Or maybe a very Jewish Jesus birthday. Another thing I don't feel very represented in with Hallmark Christmas movies is age, you know? I am a 13-year-old boy, and again, I don't think Hallmark Christmas movies were geared towards my type. So, if I were to make a Hallmark Christmas movie for 13-year-olds, I would call it A Very Locked-In 6-7 Christmas. Thank you. And so these two 13-year-olds, they meet in detention, okay? And since it's around Christmas time, they're baking sugar cookies for the school staff instead of doing normal detention stuff. And so they lock eyes, you know? And suddenly their hair's flying out of the hair nets. They're throwing flour at each other. You know, it's this whole dramatic montage. And their eyes lock. They lean in for the kiss. And their braces lock. I told you it was going to be a very locked-in 6-7 Christmas. And then the principal, who is secretly Santa, has to come in and unlock them with magic. And right there, in the middle of the cafeteria, say it with me, 3, 2, 1, it starts to snow. Thank you all very much. I'm Augustus Salie-Semel.